What's going on, YouTube? My YouTubeites. World of YouTubers. So here it is. I have been given the task of refinishing this thing. This is a Ruger 177 pellet rifle. A friend of mine had it, and it was used by somebody who was a little stupid, kinda, but they carved all kinds of crap, like "see you next Tuesday," the F-bomb, and it's just like the dumbest stuff you could possibly carve into a stock is carved into the stock. There was some obstruction in the barrel that I'd already gotten out, and that was a pain in the nuts. But now you can see, maybe, that's kind of hard to do. But you can see that the obstruction, there you go, the obstruction is completely gone. It's a nice spiraled barrel. It's got a really good barrel. I mean, it is a Ruger. Has fiber optic sights, but it also has a scope, so the fiber optics probably not needed. The scope definitely needs some work. The thing is a little bit off. I took it outside after I cleared the obstruction. I gave it a shot. It's completely not zeroed. But this whole stock needs a refinishing. And then the actual steel itself, the bluing, could use a little rebluing. It's got some spots on there where it's found some oxidation and different things. So mainly it's all this stuff that's carved in there, and it's carved in deep. And I need to get all that out. So what I just need to really do is sand it. And I have two options. I could take everything apart and just pop it out. It's literally just, it should be a screw. Yeah, okay, so we have two screws here for the trigger housing, and you have a screw here that takes out all this junk, and then it just slips right in. And I'm thinking, okay, I could just take that out, and that would be no problem at all. But and I might just do that. I was going to say, but I could just sand around it, but then I'd have to sand all these fine corners in here without getting this. So I think I might just take this sucker apart. So, I don't know. All right, so that was easy. Like I said, it was just 4 screws. Got the entire rifle mechanism out. Here obviously is the trigger, barrel, everything. That was pretty simple. Got the trigger well right here, or the trigger housing. Very, very easy. Got 4 screws and a rifle stock. So now what it comes down to is just sanding all the parts that are shiny like this. So now I have to think, how do I want to finish it? I pretty much have the go ahead to do whatever I want. Do I want to give her a nice shiny rifle again, or do I just make it kind of cool looking? The grain in the wood is already pretty cool. I'm wondering if I should do a two-tone. Then I started thinking maybe I should do a little camo paint like I did on my 1022, if you guys remember that video. I don't know. Should I take off the buttstock pad, or do I really need to? I don't think I need to. But that's it. So that's what I have in store for me. I have to sand this down. So this is really kind of a simple project. It's re-blue, sand and stain, or paint, but I think I'm going to stain, and put it back together. And then it's just adjusting sights and making sure all the airways are clean and the seals are oiled. It's a very simple project. It's just time taking and kind of tedious, but I'm going to get it done. All right, so Shelly has my palm sander somewhere. I don't know where it is. I was looking for it. I couldn't find it, so I just started doing it by hand. This, but I have to say, okay, here's the carved in bad words. This is what it looked like. So taking off the F-bomb, that wood is really nice under there. So I think this is going to be pretty cool when it's done. And I have a couple ideas of what I want to do with it. So I think I'm going to have to pull this off, because otherwise it will get ruined doing what I want to do. So that's next. I'm going to pull off the the butt stock, a little rubber. It's a hard one. It doesn't do much for this, but it's also a pellet gun, so that doesn't matter. I think I'm going to pull that off and do a little extra work. Oh, yeah. All right, glory day. Glory day. Found the palm sander. Problem is, I let her use it, and now it's all full of stuff, so gotta clean it out a little bit. Just kind of shake it. I don't know how when they use stuff it gets so crappy. I don't know how, but we're back on track here. So now I can use the palm sander and speed up my time here. Hold on. Got some fighter jets going over the house. Probably can't see it, it's way over there, but woo, thunder. Oh, happy day, this is so much better. All right, so if you plan on redoing a butt stock on a rifle, remember when you're sanding here, you want to do more scoring than sanding right here. I can really take it and I can grind down and I can take out some material and I'm not worried about anything. It's not going to change anything if I take material out of here, right? But here, remember that everything is measured to specifics. So if you move material out of here, you're going to change the way all your guts sit. So when it comes to this area right here, be really careful. You can use power, but make a single pass and then come back. On here, you really want to just score it. So I'm going to just stick with hand sanding in that area. But as far as the rest, like here's the see you next Tuesday area, I can just go ahead and push my sander into it and really grind out all that crap that's in there, and I don't have to worry about anything. So that's going to be pretty good. It's just easy. I'm not worried about moving any wood off of there that's going to affect anything. It's going to be just fine. So this is going to make life a little bit easier. So let me just finish this. All right, so I think I got as far as I'm going to get with the palm sander. I got all of the bad stuff out, and now it's just getting it all to look like this. So far it's looking really good, but I have a lot of work left to get the remaining, see all these spots, all that stain. Now if some of these spots are in there and I notice that it's just dark and not this clear finish on there, then I can leave some of it and all will be good. I just noticed in the light by moving it, one of those really heavy scratches, it's like a heart with a bunch of scratches in it that he etched into the blade, is still there. So I'm going to have to, I might have just got it out. Oh, no, I didn't. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more work on this area to get that out. But all in all, I mean, the stock is looking pretty good. It's coming out pretty nice. And now it's about finishing it. Well, that looks pretty good. So this thing right now, I just got to blow out all the sawdust, because you definitely don't want sawdust kicking around inside when you put your mechanisms back in. But before I do that anyway, I have to finish it. So this thing taken down is now looking pretty darn nice. I have a couple ideas what I want to do with it. First one is a burn. All right, so I want to do a little burn on this stock, and the quick and easy way that anybody would do is to take either a torch or one of those torch lighters and concentrate a flame and do the burn. But my man, the Bowie Man, if you haven't seen his channel, check the Bowie Man out. He's actually one of the up and coming channels. The Bowie Man just did a Fatwood Friday, so I figure in honor of the Bowie Man's channel, I'm gonna light a fire and try to do an old school burn and see if I can't get that going. So right now what I'm just doing is trying to get some air underneath the cardboard that I lit, and see if I can't get it going. And it looks like I have fire. So once I get the fire raging enough, I'll try to burn it. All right, so the fire is getting to a point where all the wood is starting to light. And some of you might be thinking, well, D-Bad, why burn it? Why sand it and clean it off just to light it on fire? What the burning will do is will help bring out some of the stain. Now, normally you would concentrate a flame on one area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down and let the fire just hit a certain area. And what you'll see is this. Maybe in the sun, but I'm in the shadow, but you'll see that. Now what I'll do is I'll just kind of go through it and pick apart. And with any luck, I might end up with some tiger stripes. We'll soon find out. So you'll get some of that black char on there. You just wipe that through and you'll end up with these cool markings that when you stain over them, they look pretty badass, pretty dope, if you will. So now it's just getting different parts. This is why I was going to take off the butt cap, because I didn't want to melt it. Then I started thinking to myself, I really don't care. Not the nicest butt cap in the world anyway. But remember, when you burn it, it's going to feel hot to the touch, so be very careful. You don't want to burn yourself. But this is it. This is how I'm burning it. I'm going old school. Also, burning will make it harder. It's just another thing. It stiffens the wood. As long as you don't obviously char it, then it will do a really good job of naturally hardening the wood. Ooh. That's nice and hot right there. But I can see the stain is being lifted. It's just looking good. Just looking good. I mean, not the stain, but the grain. And then that way when I do stain it, it's just going to enhance it. Right? And that's going to look pretty badass. Now you'll notice I'm not doing the inside of the stock, just the outside. And that's all I need to do is the outside. This thing is looking pretty cool, man. I love that burnt effect. It's going to come out pretty nasty. I can see some of the scratches still in there. Those really, really deep ones. But I'm just going to throw a little fire on them and hope they hide a little better. Woo, ooh, ooh, that's hot, baby. That's hot, baby. So it's looking pretty good. I just want to do a little bit more on the stock, a little bit more underneath around the trigger. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm not burning the inside, so I don't want to change any of that, but the rest of it, fair game. Fair game, baby. Yeah. So that's going to be cool. It's going to be cool when it's all said and done. The burn will be underneath the stain, and the stain is going to go over it, so it's not going to look burnt. It's just going to look cool. Just going to look cool, man. All right, let me show you this in a minute. All right, so this stock looks mighty nice, right? Now, from this point, if you really like that kind of look, you can clear it from here, or you can put some kind of protectant on it. You can leave it just like this. It doesn't matter. But it's got to have a little bit more. All right, so let's get you guys adjusted here. I brought out 3 different stains. I've got an ebony, all right, nice dark stain. I've got a Sedona red, which is like a mid-range stain, depending on how many coats you put on. And then I have a really nice light stain. So what I want to do is I want to start where the buttstock is, I want to go with an ebony. I want to go dark. And then I want to go red, and then I want to go light. And then I got some spray lacquer here. Should have enough in there to get it going. So luckily I have my D-Bad Campmaster to help me open up these stains. And don't use the edge, use the spine part. So I can get this going. Should have probably mixed it first. Close that back up, start again. All right, so all I'm doing is the very basic and easy approach. Paper towel. I'm just gonna rub the stain in and get it going that way. So there we go. Now this is old stain, so hopefully it's still good. If not, it's not going to be very dark, but we'll see. We'll see. It might just be kicked on the bottom there. I got a stick here so I can, oh yeah, all that stain is gathered up on the bottom. I could feel it like it's all kinds of mush on the bottom. So let's see if I can't just get some of that out of there. Oh, that's better. That's better. So luckily I have a stick. Oh, okay. Now see, now we're talking. Now we're talking dark stain. And I want to go all the way up to the butt cap and get it as dark as I can in that area and see if that'll help. And I'm going to use the stick to put the stain on my paper towel, since that's where all the good dark stuff is at the bottom. I'm just going to do it that way. So, and now it's just about making this thing dark at this end. And now I don't want to just have a line stop. So what I want to do is kind of fade away at the end. And then I'm going to wipe it with the paper towel at the end. But I want it as dark as I can get it up until that point. And I'm really going to work it in there. I really want to push it into the grain and see if I can't get that darkness in there. When I get to a point of that's how much dark I want, then I'm going to change it. And that's about how much dark I want. So now I'm going to go to the part of the paper towel with no stain on it. And I'm just going to work in the edge. And you'll see it goes from this to that, right? And that way it'll be a nice, more faded and muted dark on the end. There we go. And now I'm just going to lightly rub it, and you can see the burn. See that? Straight through there. That's pretty awesome. All right, so that's how much black I'm putting on. All right, that's my ebony. So now I'm going to crack open the Sedona red. Woo, maybe. This is old. This is really, really old. Oh, this stain might be bad. It's got like crust on it, but you never know. You never know. A little bit of mixing it up, you could save it. Oh, that stuff is like, it's like gel. It's goo. It's goo, man. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the stick. Actually, I might not have to with this stuff. This stuff is like cream down there. But now I'm going to take my Sedona red and I'm going to go over that area of black where I finished and then down. So this is a nice color red. It's supposed to look like the mountains in Sedona, which if you've never been there are freaking amazing. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. So get to Sedona, Arizona. All right, so now that's what I'm gonna do. Now you see what I'm doing. You see how I'm gonna work the same step over and over again, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. All right, check this out. So look at the tricolor. Goes from dark to red to a white. That thing looks amazing with the burns inside of it. Now I just gotta spray it with some lacquer after this dries a little bit. But man, I don't know if I can get it any sunnier for you to look at, but that came out so badass. It looks amazing. That looks so much better than stock. Wow, that's cool. So and let it dry and spray some clear. Well, that's the problem with old cans. So it started spraying out really nice. Like you could see, it was just beautiful. And then it started sputtering, so I only got to that point. But I might have to finish it with some poly. I have a little bit of that. I'll see if I have any more lacquer, I don't know. But man, how, why? Old cans, old cans. This thing feels full. Man, it's just bad. It's just bad, man. All right, luck might be on my side. I got some clear brushing lacquer. It says 2 hours, dries and touch in 30 minutes, 2 hours to recoat. So let's see. Let's see how this stuff goes. Man, I should have opened it before I grabbed this. All right. I don't want to lay it down because it's got lacquer on a quarter of it. But luckily, my Camp Master is a one-hand operation. Oh, speaking of Camp Master, to all you guys who are still paying attention, the D-Bad Mission 2 is in the mail, and it's actually close. And with it is coming the Camp Master for the big giveaway. Big giveaway. So pretty soon, somebody's going to own that whole bag. All right, so here it goes. Let's try and lacquer this thing the old-fashioned way. Let's see. Hopefully this will work. All I'm doing off camera is just putting some lacquer on a paper towel and rubbing it in. I'll show you what it's done. All right, so that's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good indeed. I love the transition. It's kind of hard with the sun going away, but the transition in color you can really pick out. I think that came out really cool. So I'm gonna let this thing dry. I'm gonna put it back together. I'm gonna zero in the sights, get it all ready to go, and then this is one of the prettiest human beings in the world that's gonna get this. Wait till you see. If I do that on camera. Let's see. So she's definitely going to appreciate the new stock, I hope. All right, hold on. All right, so next step is just reviving the blue. I've got some perma blue. It's basically super blue, and I'm going to use this to bring the life back into this. So literally, this is an easy step. I won't bore you with it. Shake it up a little bit and pop the cap. Oh, this one's a brand new bottle, so I have one over here. It's super blue. I know this one's not a brand new bottle because I've been bluing. Bluing, not blowing. All right, so I'm just gonna throw a little super blue on my paper towel and rub it in. That's it. That's literally it. So I'm gonna show you up close. Hopefully the you'll be able to see it, but it's kind of hard to tell. You see all those spots in like areas of non-blue? What was that? Cap just knocked off the safety cap. There we go. That's back on. So now I'll get to that point where it was just, there was no blue on it. It was just a line. Hold on, man. Good thing I'm all together. All right, so that area that had no blue, we're just gonna blue it, and you can see that that color comes right back. It's just beautiful. So everything that's carbon steel, everything that's already blued, gun blued, I'm just gonna re-blue. Ooh, man, that blue is beautiful. Okay, so it looks almost brand new. I mean, this is old. This is very old. Looks good. All right, so now it's time for reinsertion. So I'm going to start with the rear, and I want to get that trigger housing into its hole nice and clear. I want to line up my nuts on there. Line up my nuts on there. line up my nuts on that. And what I want to do is first start with the upper part. So I'm not going to do the trigger yet. I'm starting right here. And I just have to make sure that my screw is lined up. And it feels like it is. So I'm going to go ahead and set it in there. That is good. And now I'm going to do the other side. And get that guy in there. Can't wait to zero this thing and see how it shoots. All right, so that's it. So now I have 2 screws and a housing. Now, it's really important to make sure you get the front in the front. And I remembered easily because this little hole right here was in the front, so I didn't even have to mark anything. But now there's 2 screws. One of them is longer than the other. So I remembered the short one went in the rear. And that's going to be the one I put in first. That's like a just a regular wood screw. And then there was this one with some blue Loctite on it. And I'm going to go ahead and set that in. All right, hold on. So assembly is complete. It looks great. It looks great. It's doled out toward the front, shinier to the back. It looks freaking superb. So now what I need to do is clean the lenses because these lenses are just gross. You could see that. They were sitting in a storage unit. So what I'm going to do is clean them with Q-tips. Make it really easy, which they actually make that sound. Once you start going, you have to listen really close. They go. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to take it outside and zero it. All right, so this is what I did. It's all cleaned up. This is going to be blowing all over the place, so I need to find a way to put that in. This guy right here is only about 3 inches, 4 inches, and I made a bunch of little hashes to help me with my zeroing so I know high, low, left, right. And now it's time to get shooting at it. Hopefully we get a little bit of wind here. It just keeps going in and out. And with a pellet gun, that's not always the best. I'm using some flat top Gammo pellets. And we're going to zero at 20 yards. So let's see. Take this first couple shots. Hold on here. All right, so this scope has not been touched. Nothing's been done with it. Let's see how it goes here. Let's see where the first one drops. All right, so I aimed center mass, and what we do is we go see where the first one is, and then before touching anything, we shoot the next 2. That way we can get an idea, at least if we're on, because if we're not on, we're not going to shoot the next 2. Right? So, and it looks like, oh, here we go. All right, so we're in one of the hashtags here. I mean, hash marks, hashtag idiot. We're in one of the hash marks. So it's definitely firing a little left. I'm going to put the next 2 center mass and see if they end up here. All right, so I'll let you know how it works out. All right, this isn't bad. I have 1, 2, 3. So now it's hard with pellets too, because sometimes when you push them in, sometimes they're at an angle that's a little different. Some fit in really tight, some don't. So they're not 100% crazy great when it comes to that, but these 2 right here are really good. This one's here. What I want to do is just bring them over to the right a little bit. My hash mark on my crosshairs, I want to bring them over to the right a little bit and possibly up. So I'm going to go to the right, and then half of what I bring to the right, I'm going to go up. All right, so what I did is I moved it 4 clicks to the right and 2 clicks up, and we'll see what that did. So it didn't go up. I can see right away because it's right here. It's in the target, but it went from here to here, which is just under 2. So 4 clicks equals like 1 3/4, almost 2. So if I go 2 clicks, I should be center, and I'm going to go 2 more clicks up. So 2 and 2. All right, so I'm beginning to think that this old Ruger 4x32 scope isn't very good. I've adjusted the height over and over again and it won't rise. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a test shot, and I'm going to aim above my crosshair. So hold on. All right, I've wound that thing all the way over, so if they aren't in now, they will never be. Oh, hey. All right, so we're looking good. So my last three, 1, 2, 3. That is pretty damn good. That means you have about 1.25 inches grouping 3 shots from 20 yards. I'll tell you what, unless it's a hummingbird, you're gonna hit it. So I got a water bottle set up over here. What I'm thinking of is try to hit it slow motion and see what that looks like. So hold on. All right, I'm calling this a success. Let's see. Oh man, came out great. Thing is shooting great. It's on target. All right, so that's how you restore a pellet gun. And you can do the same thing with anything. You got a 1022 Ruger or any kind of wooden stock gun. That's all you do, man. Sand it down, stain it, throw a little clear on there. Mwah. That's it for this one. I am Donnie Ball.